Okay, so in the previous video we have connected all of the animations. As you can see now, let's go ahead and open up the script for fist fight and let's play the animation using the fist fight script. Okay, so right here we need to create a fighting sequence. Okay, so for the fighting sequence we will create a new method after this update. So let's say void fist fight modes. Okay, or you can name this as fist fight sequence if you want. Okay, then in here we will say that if the player presses the mouse left button, then now inside this if condition we will create a fight sequence, and according to that sequence we will play different types of fist fight animations. Okay, for now we will be just playing the animations. We will not be giving damage to anything. We will be giving damage in the upcoming videos. For now just focus on the fighting sequence. So first of all, right here at the top we will create an integer by the name of fist fight value, or in short form VAL. Okay, then when the player presses the mouse button, what we want to do, we will say fist fight value equals to random dot range, and the range will be from 1 to 7. Okay, whenever the player presses the mouse button we will create, or you can say generate random numbers from 1 to 7. Okay, so for example if you press the left mouse button, okay, then it will generate for example a random value between 1 and 7, for example 3, 4, 1 or even 6. Okay, like that. So now right here this will simply create a random number, or you can say choose a random number between 1 and 7. Okay, then what we will do, we will say that if this fist fight value is equals to 1, then what we want to do, we want to first of all attack, and after the attack we want to play the animation as well. So animation. So for now, as I told you, we'll be focusing on the animation. Okay, so if this fist fight value is equals to 1, then we want to play this jab 1 animation. Okay, so in order to play the animation we will create a enumerator type method for the animation, because when the player is playing the animation we want to activate, or you can say make the single fist bool right here in the environment to true, and then we want to play this whole animation, and then after that we will set the single fist to false. Okay, and then after that the player can move on. Okay, we want to play the whole animation, and when the animation is being played we want to make the player wait for the animation to finish, and then after that we will play the next fist fight sequence. Okay, because if we didn't allow the player to wait, okay, or didn't make the player to wait, then if we keep clicking the left mouse button, then none of the animation will be played fully and it will look weird. Okay, so that's why we need to create a enumerator function and make the player wait. Okay, so we will say enumerator, let's name this as single fist as well, same as the animator bool. Okay, as you can see it is by the name of single fist as well. It is not necessary to name these two similar. You can name this method whatever you want, but I want to keep things simple, so I will just simply name it similar to the animator bool value. Okay, single fist. So right here first of all we want to play the animation. Okay, so for playing the animation we need to add a reference to animator, so we will say public animator, and let's name this as anim. Okay, then in here we will say anim dot set bool, and we want to set this bool to true, which is by the name of single fist. Okay, So we will say single fist, and let's set this to true. Okay, then we want to wait for the animation to finish, so we will say yield return new wait for seconds, and in here we will type the time. So for identifying this animation time, okay, this jab 1, let's click on this jab 1 actually, double click on it. This is the animation, so let me see the length of this animation. Okay, if we move it to the end right here, okay, it is 99.9. If we play the animation, okay, as you can see it is less than 1 second. Okay, so for example we can set the seconds right here. For example, let's just say 0.7 maybe, or 0.8, because it was 0.9, so we will use 0.8. okay, so it will make this true, it will play the animation, and we want to wait for the animation length. And as you know that the animation length was 0.9, but I set 0.8 right here. Okay, so you can do the same as well, just decrease one value from it. Then when we play the whole animation, then after that we will set this to simply false, and that is it. Okay, and then right here when the fist fight value is equals to 1, then we will call this single fist method right here. But as you know, this is our of type enumerator, so for that we need to put this inside start coroutine like this. Okay, so just as we did for the single fist, now let's do the same for the other animation, for the fist combo and then the kicks. Okay, so now this time we will say that if the fist fight value is equals to 2, then what we will do, we will now play the double fist animation. So for that we need to create a enumerator type function, just as we did for single fist. So we will say enumerator, and let's name this as double fist. Okay, and let me tell you again, I have named this method similar to the animator parameter, which is by the name of double fist. Okay, and let me tell you, you can name this whatever you want, but if you want to follow me, then just do the same. Okay, so in here what we will do, when this is called, we want to play this animation which is hand combo, and as you can see it is set to double fist. So when this is called, we will say anime.setBool, the bool name is double fist. We will set this to true, and as I told you, we need to wait for the whole length of the animation. So let me just copy that line, paste it down below, and now let's check the length of this hand combo or double fist animation. Okay, so if we double click on it, as you can see, this is the animation. Let me move it right here. It is also 0.9, but if you play it, as you can see, this is the animation. So right here I am really confused that how we calculate the true length of it. Okay, so I found out that 0.4 is the correct value for this animation length. Okay, we will be changing this value, okay, once we have done with this fighting sequence. Okay, we will change this value, and also maybe this value may be different from for your animation. Okay, but I will told you how to exactly measure this value. Okay, for now just follow me. Okay, so when we play the animation, okay, then we wait for 0.4 second. After that we will set that to false. Okay, and in here we will call the double fist right there, and as I told you, we need to call this inside the start coroutine because this is a enumerator type, so do it like that. Okay, and then right down below we will now say that if the fist fight value is equals to 3, then what we will do, we will now play the fist and kick animation. So for that, let's create a enumerator type method first of all by the name of, let's just say, first fist kick, and as you know, the name is similar to the animator parameter name. Okay, then right here we will say first fist kick, we will set it to true, we will wait for 0.4 and then set it to false. Okay, simple as that. Then right here we will start coroutine and we will call the first fist kick method right there. Okay, as you can see. Now after this, let's say that if the fist fight value is equals to 4, then we need to play the kick combo. So we will create a method for it by the name of kick combo, and in here let me just copy this, paste it down below. Let's change this to kick combo and this one to kick combo as well, and we need to wait for 0.4. that is it. Okay, now let's call this kick combo in here. Okay, then after the kick combo we will say if the fist fight value is equals to 5, then we want to play the left kick. Okay, so let's create a method for it. Let me name this as left kick. Okay, and change this kick combo to left kick and this combo to left kick as well, and we need to wait for the same seconds, and then in here we will call the kick combo as well. Okay, these are just similar. It is actually not kick combo, it is left kick. Sorry if I think I've said kick combo. Okay, so as you can see, the code is similar for all of the fighting sequence, but just the names are different. So make sure that you type this in the similar way. Okay, you name them accordingly, don't mess this up, or else your fighting sequence will be messed up as well. Okay, and now you will be saying that why the range is between 1 and 7 and the fighting sequences are just 5. Okay, so the reason I have did this is because if we are pressing the left button again and again, then maybe it repeated, for example, the left kick again and again. So I want to make the fighting sequence choose different type of fight animations, or you can say fight attacks. Okay, so that's why I have increased the range till 7. Okay, if you don't want, then you can just leave this to 5, not actually 5 to 6, but I will just leave this as 7. Okay, and once you have all of this set up, okay, then right here in the update method, let's call the fist fight modes method right there. Okay, or function if you say, and that will be it. Okay, for the fighting sequence. And you can notice that now we have set up just the fighting sequence animation to true and false. Now we need to make the fist fight mode on and off as well. So for that, as you know, that we have this parameter which is fist fight active. So now when the fist fight is active, then let me now remove this debug message from here. Okay, and instead of the debug message we will say anime dot set bool, and now as I told you, we want to set the fist fight active to true. Okay, and when it is turned off, or you can say deactivated, then instead of the message we will set this to false, and that is it. Okay, so in this way our fighting sequence will work. So now just simply save the script, get back to Unity. Okay, the parameters, everything are set up. If we click on player, now we need to provide the animator in here, and that will be it. Now let's click on this game and let's play the game. You will notice the timer fist fight value right here, okay, while playing the game. So now as you can see, the player can walk and do the same things, okay, which is just walking, parkour and everything. But now for example, if the enemy comes in front, now we want to fist fight, okay. So if we press the mouse button, as you can see, the fist fight mode is activated, okay. As you can see, whenever we play the button, as you can see, it is playing a random animation, as you can see, okay, whenever we press the button. But as you can see, there is the rotation problem with the animation. The player is facing that side, we want the player to face the other side, okay. So we need to fix that as well. As you can see, the player doesn't play the walking animation as well unless the fist fight mode is turned off, okay. So we have problem with the animations. So in order to fix this, let's first of all open up the locomotions. Let's select the first one, okay, and right here what we will do, we will set this to loop time, okay. This is the idle loop pose, and make the body orientation original, back into pose. This will be original, back into pose as well, because this is our idle. The player doesn't move or do whatever the player wants, okay. And set this to original as well. And the reason I am setting this to original, because it shows the green light. It means that the player doesn't change the rotation or position at all. So just do this changes with the idle animation, click apply, that is it, okay. Then after that we have the walking. So if we click on walking, okay, right here we will make it loop time, okay, not loop pose, because the player will be moving. Or actually we can do this to loop pose, because we don't want the player to mess up the walking animation. So make sure that you tick both of these, then change this all to original, and then back into pose, back into pose, back into pose. For the rotation, position Y, position X, Z, that's it. Click apply. Then after the walk we have the running. So if you click on running, right here we will do the same changes, take both of that, original, 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 and back into pose, back into pose, back into pose. Click apply, and that will be it. Now we need to do this for the other animation as well, for the fighting sequence, okay. So this is the run, walk, and this is the idle. So let me select all of these, okay. It doesn't give us the option at once, so we need to do this one by one. So now let's start from the first one, okay. Do the same changes, loop time, loop pose, original, 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 back into pose, back into pose, back into pose. Click apply. Let's select the next one. This is the idle, and as you can see, for the idle we already did it. Then we have the jab one, so let's do the same changes, okay. Back into pose, back into pose, that's it. Click apply. Then we have this one, loop time, loop pose, back into pose, for all of that, and make it original, okay. You can see the changes. Then select the next one, do that, then original, original, and original right here as well, and then back into pose, click apply. Then we have this one, okay, and I am showing you this. You can skip this if you get it, what changes you need to do, but if you want to do it with me, then just stick to this video, okay. So now as you can see, we have did changes to all of the animations now, as you can see, okay. And we did one mistake for the animations. For the fighting animation is we selected the loop time for them, so we don't need to select loop time for the fighting animations, okay. So make sure that you remove the loop time for just the fighting animations, okay, not for the walk, run, and idle. So let me remove loop time from the fighting animations. Okay, that is it. Just leave the loop time for the walk, run, and for the idle. That is it. Let's play the game. Okay, so this is our player now. Now let's try to press the mouse button. As you can see, fist fight mode is activated. The player is, she is now, as you can see, can run, walk around when the fist fight is activated. As you can see, the player can do punches as well. Okay, and if we want to move, okay, we can move as well, as you can see. But when the fist fight is deactivated, as you can see, the player gets back to normal walking and running, because when the 5-second limit is exceeded, then the player knows that yes, the player don't want to fight anymore, so that is why the player get back to normal. Okay, you can set the timer value to, for example, 10 right here if you want to increase the timer, but I will just leave this as 5. And as you notice, the player can now do different type of punches and kicks. You can notice the fist fight value. Okay, as you can see, the fist fight value is changing, as you can see. Okay, so now the player can do everything, as you can see. Okay, so with our fighting sequence added, and let me mention in the end that you need to remove the loop time from just the fighting animations. Okay, not from the walk, run, and idle. Just for the fighting animation, remove this loop time. That is it. So with this done, I will see you guys in the next one.